How am I catching so much flack when Bradley
I did the same thing as you.
that I did?
I think
Only longer.
only people like you, Colton.
Hey,
No one
I
likes
called him
Colton.
out, man. I called him out.
Well, you did. That was very good.
Well, that was great.
You went from
You're the
saying
best.
all these people can't start, then you went to say, oh, but receivers are at a premium.
But he can't start all those guys.
Neither can you. You got 4 receivers.
Yeah, but at least I can start my first 5 players. You can only start. Well, you can start 4 receivers.
Opening statement, please.
Oh, that's too close.
Yeah, we decided to take a whole new route this year. We decided to draft players that were good. So hopefully we will do better. I got a new coach.
We're not taking questions yet. Hold on.
Yeah,
Put
we're
your hand
opening
down.
statement.
We had a new draft strategy this year, and that was for him not to pick anybody. Just because last year he picked Sean Green instead of Doug Martin. 2 years ago he picked Lance Moore in the 4th round.
Let's not forget Sam Bradford.
Let's not forget Sam Bradford.
In the 2nd round, he picked Sam Bradford in the 2nd round. Who does that?
Will.
You comparing me to Will?
I think they just did.
You just won the Big Will
At least he's
trophy.
not going to live with me.
Yes.
Who wears the
You
pants
won.
in this relationship?
It's clearly me. Next question.
You've won, or should I say lost, as the biggest loser every year. What are you doing to change that?
We're turning it around. That's why our name is Shressel this year. It's losers backwards, because we're turning that crap around.
Guess that explains it.
What do you have to
with
say
with
about
fake
the
beard.
nickname that's gone around the league of calling you the McClowns instead of the McCowans?
I think that's a shot at my older brother Colton, just because. I mean, look at this draft. Look, I don't even want to get started on that.
Are you saying he had the worst draft by saying that?
Of course, look.
Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
But you're ugly, so shut up. Even Caleb had a better draft than him. Yes,
Is your brother a terrorist?
I believe so. I saw him making explosives in the garage.
I am not a terrorist.
That was the bathroom.
That was
There have been
that's what I
some
was gonna
owners.
say.
There have been some owners questioning if maybe you were too young to enter the league. What are you planning to do to convince everyone else that you are man enough for this?
I'm coming for this. And when I get my name on here, there'll be no more questions.
Whose name gets on there first, Andy or Carter?
Carter.
Alphabetical.
So Andrew will go on there. Andrew.
And my suggestion for the loser trophy, put it on the bottom. That way the winner gets to know who's going to be chasing him the rest of the time.
Anything else?
Any more questions?
Will this upcoming football season have any effect on your fantasy football? The way that your fantasy football team plays?
I believe so, because I will not be able to work the waiver wire. I will leave that up to my father. And so, who knows?
I still got a shot.
You can have an influence.
I can have an influence.
Andy, do you know what a waiver is?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Isn't it like a crispy cracker?
He's right.
That's a wafer.
That's a wafer.
Oh,
But
no,
yes,
then
you're
I
correct
don't.
in that sense.
Any more questions? My closing statement is, when we win the championship, Jerry Jones needs to follow my example of standing back and letting your coach and leave him alone. Don't tell him who to play, who to pick. But see, he's gonna let me tell him who to play, so that'll work out good.
That
Go
will.
get pizza for him.
Ma'am?
Nobody likes him.
Really?
Yeah. I think he says when he's out in practice, it won't be surprised he jumps into a drill or just like some other people. They said, all we heard him say was, I'm micromanaging. Hello, hey, I'm micromanaging.
What was you? Get up there.
I'm still working on the opening statement.
We can get closer now that we've only got one person. I don't know if it's going. Oh, it's going.
I'd like to hear from Alex Torres. How do you think my team did? You probably got the best opinion of any of this bunch. I just want to reiterate, you drafted your first 8 picks. You can only start 4 of them. Is that it? Enough. Yeah.
I guess I'll start my rebuttal with we've got some Keens that like to take kickers in round 10. If you buy a fantasy magazine, you'd see that that's the biggest no-no. I mean, if you look at league champions, I mean Blake took one last year, but that's not a common trend.
So he won.
I think
you're
you're
saying he
wrong.
won?
He won, but I don't think it has anything to do with the kicker. If you look at my team, I've got Eddie Lacy, the starting running back for the Green Bay Packers, my number 3 running back. I might not be starting him, but he's on my team. I'm drafting the team. I'm not drafting starters. I've got Bernard Pierce, the backup to Ray Rice. Ray Rice went to the Super Bowl, had tons of carries. I think he'll be a great running back on my team. I've got Jay Cutler, but to me, Jay Cutler and Andy Dalton, the difference, 25 points in a year, and I got to get all these guys in that difference. I think that's great value. Jordan Cameron is going to be a beast of a tight end. And, I mean, when you look at Jermichael Finley, Kyle Rudolph, some of these guys, I mean, if you can tell me the reason why they're better, then I'll listen to it, but I don't see any proof there. I've got Fred Jackson as my last pick. I mean, if C.J. Spiller goes down, Fred Jackson's better than half the league's running backs. That's all I've got. Can you talk about the recent rumors of you being investigated by the league for getting paid to sign autographs?
If someone wanted my autograph, I would sign it, but I doubt that's happening. I want to talk about Colton McCown. I lived with him for several months. As you can tell, our drafts are the same. We lived together. All we talked about was fantasy football. We did a couple other things on the side.
Sir, can I get your autograph? Can I get your autograph?
Colton McCown had an influence on my life, not only in fantasy football. He's a great leader. He took me out to eat several times, paid for my meal. He's a great friend. Any other questions?
Is he a leader of a terrorist organization?
He possibly could be, but if I had to choose between that and Girl Scouts, I'd say Girl Scouts.
I have a question. How does it make you feel that Brandon Orr was bashing your quarterback?
I don't think he was bashing my quarterback. I think if you remember what he said, he's just bashing Jay Cutler. And I completely understand. I could care less who my quarterback is whenever I've got these guys on my team. I mean, Trent Richardson's going to have 300-plus carries this year. I had him last year. He was great. Matt Forte, he's going to get a lot of receiving yards, and he's a great running back. I really don't care who my quarterback is.
But with Jay Cutler being your quarterback, he was bashing your quarterback.
Well, what my plan is whenever I play you guys, I'm going to sit Jay Cutler and beat you without him. So, Cameron.
I believe the last 2 teams to have Jay Cutler are Brandon Orr and Cameron Nolly. I believe you talk trash to them endlessly about having Jay Cutler. Now you have Jay Cutler. What do you expect to happen?
I guess trash talk before the season, but when I play you, I think you'll shut up. Yes.
Excuse me. This season, I'll be inducted into the Spouses Against Destructive Decisions, or SAD. And there rumors are going around that you were recently engaged and will be getting married during your Week 7 game against none other than the Cameron Nolly. How do you plan? What is your strategy on continuing to destroy him while even put 90% to 100% of your time on the wedding and still coming out with a big old dub on top
Who
of
let that
him?
reporter in here?
Dude, you're getting married?
At one point, I thought it was going to be tough, but Cameron didn't even make playoffs last year. I've got bigger things to worry about.
Who had the worst draft?
I think Caleb really did have the worst draft.
Of the owners present.
When I think about worst drafts, I think about the most risk. I mean, I think Matt Lineback could have a long year. I don't know. There's really not a bad team. I think that will come into waivers. We've got a few owners who don't know how to manage the waiver wire, and that will kind of...
Could you name a few of those?
A few owners that don't know how to manage the waiver wire?
Yes.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pass. Yes.
You came into the draft day believing Cameron Nolly would go running back. I believe you two had spoken a lot before the draft. How do you feel that he lied to you for months on end? Do you feel betrayed by that?
Not at all. If I would have taken a receiver here, I would have taken Brandon Marshall. I would never draft a Cowboy, especially Des Bryant. Calvin Johnson's a great player, but, I mean, I'd much rather have Trent Richardson and Matt Forte, so I thank you.
How does it make you feel that Cameron drafted a mother-beating receiver?
I don't think there's anything else to say after that. I'd like to hear from Ben Tankersley. He drove down from Tyler all the way just to watch the draft. What do you feel about, what do you think about Jonathan's team?
Just gonna say, why did he get 2 tight ends? You didn't get a tight end until after he grabbed 2, so what was your thinking there? What was his thinking?
I don't think either one of them are very good. I think his pick of Darren McFadden could be good. Wes Welker is a reach there. I don't know.
he'll be. Last year he was very lucky. I think this year it'll kind of weed out.
Why did Matt Lineback and Jonathan leave so soon?
I don't really think they're that dedicated to the league. Matt Lineback actually obviously could care less, and you can see by his results. But last year he won the trophy, now he's out of it, which is fine. He's got his name on it. But if I were to win the trophy, that would only make me want to continue to defend my title. I think he's been lazy in that aspect.
Are you going on the record putting their position in the league as on the hot seat?
Well, now that I know that Cameron's not going to be in the league next year, I don't think I have to worry about that. Yes.
Do you already have an owner lined up to replace Cameron?
I'll think about it.
Bring him back. There's been several nominations of Dwayne's twin brother Daryl to be brought into the league to replace Cameron. Would you vote to support that decision?
I think before that I'd want a new commissioner. And there's a guy named Colton McCown that I would probably choose and elect. I lived with him and I have a lot of respect for him. And I would definitely be happy to have him as my co-commissioner.
I believe Colton was commissioner for one season and was unanimously declared the worst commissioner of all time.
He's the white Obama.
I enjoyed it.
Could you comment on any of the negative choices that commissioner had made?
No, but I would like to say you've got a good team. I mean, you took Doug Martin over Arian Foster. That was smart. Reggie Bush might be a reach, and then you only having 3 receivers on your whole team that could hurt you. But I love the Chris Ivory pick. I think he's a star for the Jets. That's all they've got. And I mean, unless you want to draft Sanchez, I mean, he's going to be great. They're going to use him a lot. Kimbrel Thompson's is a great pick. I like him over Dobson. Heath Miller, that's whatever. I think you've got a good team, and you'll make playoffs.
Recently, the first gay NBA player just came out, and there's rumor of a gay NFL player personally coming out very soon. Do you think the League of Champions is ready for a gay owner?
I think we've had one for years, and if I turn this camera around, I'll find a man wearing maroon pants, and I'd be happy to introduce him to the viewers. Yes.
How do you think your new wife will support you in your endeavors in the League of Champions?
I think so. After this draft, I don't even have to mess with my lineup. I'll let her do it, and we'll be good. Any other questions?
Any closing statements?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt. Who's next? I'll be Matt or Sean.
We gotta read that.
My blanking.
Blake's the champion. He's got to get up there.
I'm going.
Get some quotes.
This should go up there.
Blake's waiting to go last.
I'm just waiting for everyone.
If you want to get back up, we'll turn it on. We'll have you sitting down. Oh wait, was it recording? I think we're recording. Never mind. Go sit down.
Yeah, get up there. You gotta rub it in.
Did you just clap for yourself?
Opening statement.
No, that was me getting ready for my interview.
Matt, you took RG3 this year. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah, I've got some things to say. This year, complete turnover. Like, I'm not doing anything the same this year. Obviously, last year I went with my head. This year it's heart all the way. Last year I passed up on Robert Griffin. Sean got him in the 4th round before I could get him. So there's that. I've got a newfound confidence, and I am just going to win this league this year. Yes, you.
This is newfound confidence because you just got married.
That could have something to do with it.
Do you think being married has affected the way you draft in a positive way? Anything maybe specifically about marriage life that's just propelled you to the front of the pack?
Let me get all right.
Last year you had Lady Luck on your side.
Yeah.
And you did miss playoffs. Do you think you have a little bit more Lady Luck?
I would say so.
Let's get back to this question.
My wife is not here with me today, but she is definitely in full support of me. She she cooked me breakfast this morning and said, "I know you're gonna do great today, and you're gonna beat all those stupid guys." And she's in full support. All right.
So you're saying it's your wife's food?
She is a good cook. Yes. Next question.
Okay. So you drafted 2 tight ends, and as many of the owners have pointed out, that gives you 3 tight ends. How do you feel about that?
Well, let's see. Well, I come from a long line of good tight ends. Last year or a couple years ago, I had Jason Witten. He's a man of consistency. Vernon Davis, and tight ends. They're my specialty.
How worried are you about RG3's injuries?
Oh well, I am pretty worried about it. However, I know that he already had the same injury in college and came back and won the Heisman. So I think that this year he's just going to have a bounce back season like he did his last year at Baylor.
Of the owners that drafted, what team do you think had the best draft besides yourself and the worst draft?
Well, let's see. Obviously, Brad had the worst. Sorry, Brad. Let's see. The best draft. This year, it's hard to pick.
Don't say Colton.
I'm not gonna say Colton. That's for sure. I will go with Blake Glass. Yes. I think he's got 2 solid running backs. Number 1 on their team. Colin Kaepernick, solid quarterback, and Pierre Garcon will have my guy Robert throwing at him. So as long as he catches what Robert throws, he'll be good. Let's see, any more questions? Not to do with my.
You're what?
No.
Girl, that's a booty hole.
Yes.
It is widely known around the league that you have the biggest booty of all the owners. How do you think that affected the way you draft?
It gives me good support. Just sit in the chair, and it gives me better focus. I don't know about you with that little bony thing of yours. I don't know how you sit down. I just don't. What am I talking about? Anybody got a question about my team? I'd really like to expound on my team. Thank you.
Who's got the best booty on your team?
RG3. He was a track star.
Yeah, we'll go with RG3. We'll give him some credit. He's a newlywed as well, and I think we'll have that connection there, and he'll know that I expect a newly found confidence from him as well.
This newly found confidence that you're referring to.
Yes.
Could you expound on that?
Oh well, crap. Yes, Cameron.
Other than yourself, who would you say had the best booty today, and which owner do you think had the worst?
I am not going to answer that question. Yes.
It's been known that Colton McCowan intimidates you, and last year he wasn't at the draft, and this year he was. Do you have any concerns of him being a terrorist? Is this why you're afraid?
Well, I don't have any problem with it. There was some controversy.
You don't have problems with terrorists?
No. I don't have a problem with Colton McCowan as long as he's not a terrorist. Now that is still to be said. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's no conflict between us. I'm not sure where that came from, but it seems to be getting the press's attention, and we'll see where it goes, but there's nothing there.
Can you talk about Colton's explosives in the bathroom?
No, I'd rather not talk about that. No.
Is it because you're a terrorist with him?
No.
You don't look like a terrorist.
Are you a terrorist separate from him? You're a separate terrorist?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how the conversation is getting steered this way. We're talking about fantasy football. Can we talk about it? Okay. All right. Oh yes, Blake. One last question. Make sure it's good.
How's Walmart?
Oh yeah. Well, it's going.
Oh.
Yes.
Is your shirt gingham or plaid?
I have no idea.
I have a question.
Yes, Cameron.
How would you say being employed and working at Walmart affected the way you draft? Would you say that you got some great value in the round?
Yes, in fact, I would say I got some really great value. I got great product for a low price, and I think that's
Wale.
Yeah, that's.
Did you have
yes.
Mountain Dew today?
No, I did not have Mountain Dew today. However, I had a Dr. Pepper, and I feel like it contributed to my team. Thank you for all the questions.
Bye, man.
Good night.